Are you worried about how the court will decide custody of your child? You might have to be. If you don't know how judges decide child custody matters, you could be in for a rude surprise. Hi, I'm Jim Crayabelt, and after helping clients for the past 30 plus years getting custody of their children, I'm here to help you understand how child custody decisions are made in Michigan. In this video, I'm going to teach you step by step how to avoid costly mistakes. So let's get started. In Michigan, the courts focus on what's the best interest of the child. To determine this, judges use a set of criteria called the best interest factors. They're outlined in Michigan under the Michigan Compiled Laws 722.23. And there are 11 of these best interest factors. And the judge is going to review all of these. Today, I want to talk specifically about factor A, which is the first of the 11 factors. This factor focuses on the love, affection, and emotional ties between the child and each parent. I'll explain what this factor means, share ways you can strengthen your bond with your child, and provide some important case law that courts rely on to guide their decision. Let's get started. First, let's understand factor A, the love, affection, and other emotional ties existing between the parties involved and the child. This factor looks at the emotional connection that you have with your child. It's not just about loving your child, but it's about showing that love through consistent involvement and meaningful actions. Courts want to see that you're actually building a strong emotional foundation for your child. So let me unpack this a little bit differently. The judge is going to look at the bond that exists between you and your child. You may be saying, I love you to your child every day, but if you don't spend any time with your child, you probably won't have a very strong bond, which may hurt your case. So here are some ways that you can demonstrate and improve your bond with your child. The court is going to want to see to whom is the child going when he or she is sad, happy, or in need of a parent. For example, the court can look at how much you're available to your child. Are you physically available to your child when they need you? For example, what's your work schedule? Can they reach you during the day when you're at work? Historically, who's provided the day-to-day care for the children? What are your conversations like with your child? You shouldn't be sharing adult stuff with your kids because that creates an inappropriate emotional burden for them. If you go to court, can you provide examples of when your child came to you with problems, worries, or their victories? Has your child shared his love for you? Do you have cards or trinkets that your child made for you saying that they love you? Do you have common hobbies or activities with your child? Do you have examples of canceling events in your life because the child needed you? Do you have examples of your child showing the love between you and that child? For example, do you have a nickname for your child that indicates the love and affection? All of these examples indicate that the focus is more on your actions, how you spend time with your kids, instead of your feelings. Pretty much any parent's going to say that they love their kid. But the rubber hits the road, and the issue is, the difference is your actions. So, a judge will probably rule, and often they do rule, that parents are equal on this factor. And of all the best interest factors, this is the one where parents are most often found equal. Sometimes the court will find that one parent is a little more favored because that parent was a stay-at-home parent and children were accustomed to go to that parent for emotional support. That may feel offensive to the other parent because they're going to say, but I love my kid. But unfortunately, the court will look at the bond that's been created. So it isn't a parent's feelings, it's who's established that bond with the kids. So how can you prepare a strong case regarding factor A? First, once you're embroiled in a custody battle, you can't just fix this in a few weeks or a few months. That emotional bond is something that's built over many, many months or even years. Second, if you believe that you're going to prevail on this factor, let's consider how you're going to be able to prove that to the judge. You're going to have to document your time. Keep a parenting journal. Keep track of your activities, whether it's playing games, reading, attending school events. All of those things you can show and prove as evidence if it's needed in the court trial. Find documentary evidence of it. Collect photos from birth until now so it's clear that you've had a bond with your child, you've spent time with them. Collect Father's Day cards, Mother's Day cards, gifts, something that your kids gave you. Do you have audio recordings? Did your teenager love you a sweet voicemail message? All these things could help you at trial. Ask for third-party input. Teachers, coaches, family members, friends who've witnessed your involvement with your child can provide valuable testimony through letters, which aren't admissible necessarily, but at least you'll know what they're going to say, or through testimony. One little thing I want to point out is avoid negative behaviors. Avoid actions that could harm your relationship with your child. Don't speak negatively about the other parent in front of your kids. Don't involve them with adult problems or emotions or issues. In summary, Factor A is all about the emotional bond between you and your child. Be present, be consistent, be nurturing, and you can show the court that you're providing the love and support that your child needs. One last little tip on evidence. Just having great evidence doesn't mean the judge is going to actually review all the evidence you have available. Everyone who participates in the trial has to comply with Michigan court rules and the rules of evidence. The rules of evidence aren't necessarily an easy subject. Even some attorneys struggle with the rules of evidence when they're not an experienced trial attorney. So, before you hire an attorney for your custody case, ask them, have you taken custody cases to trial? If they haven't, it might be questionable how much they know the rules of evidence. And if you, or especially your attorney, doesn't know the rules of evidence and doesn't know how to get the evidence admitted and in front of the judge, it's going to hurt your case. So, there's the big picture of what a judge is going to look at when reviewing Factor A of the best interest factors. Of course, that's only the first of 11. Take a moment to review my other videos on all the other best interest factors. The goal is to win on as many factors as possible so that you can win your child custody case. Thank you for watching, and if you found this information helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe for more insights on Michigan family law. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out. We're always here to help. Take care. Till next time.